I have found over the years that it is often roundabouts that new drivers find most daunting and which can take the longest to gain confidence with when they're learning to drive. In this video, I cover the basics of roundabouts, such as who has priority and correct positioning and signalling. I also have other videos to help people get used to finding gaps at roundabouts and to explain situations where you may do things slightly differently. The first thing to remember is that roundabouts are a type of junction, and lots of the things you do when dealing with junctions you'll also do when dealing with roundabouts. One of the most important things is to gather information as early as possible. Look for any signs and road markers on approach to roundabouts, as these may help you do roundabouts safely and correctly. Use the mirror signal manoeuvre drill. Scan. Yes, we give way to the right at roundabouts, but that doesn't mean we should only look right. It's important to look around the whole roundabout. So, look at this driver here. He has to give way to vehicles to his immediate right. But also, he has to bear in mind that traffic ahead of him could be heading in his direction, and also traffic to the left could be going all the way round the roundabout and crossing his path. So when looking to give way to the right, don't only look right, look everywhere around the whole roundabout. So let's look at positioning. As you approach a roundabout, look at the direction sign. Imagine a clock face. Generally, if the exit you want is at 12 o'clock or before, you approach in the left-hand lane. If it's after 12 o'clock, you approach in the right-hand lane. But always look for signs of road markings which may tell you to do things differently. Turning left at the roundabout, so we check out our mirrors. We're signalling left. Our position is over to the left. We're slowing down, looking for a gap nice and early. Probably second gear on approach, slowing down a bit more. Vehicle coming from the right, so we're going to roll it into first gear, make sure we keep to the left. Try and keep trickling forwards. We're going to follow that vehicle, so back on the gas. Keeping over to the left, making sure the left signal cancels if necessary, and rechecking our mirrors. Turning right at the roundabout, again check out our mirrors, signalling right, moving towards the centre, so we drive straight into the right hand lane, slowing down, second gear, looking for a gap, keeping well over to the right signal's still on. As you go round the roundabout, when we're alongside the exit before the one we're taking, so about now we change to a left signal, check left mirror as well, and accelerate off the roundabout. Again, checking the signals cancelled, checking mirrors again. Going straight ahead at the roundabout, so going by the 12 o'clock rule, we want the left-hand lane. So we're checking mirrors, slowing down, not signalling on approach, keeping well over to left on approach to the roundabout, looking for a gap, put it away in second gear, keeping over to left on the roundabout, left signal now. As we accelerate off the roundabout, mirrors again, and check the signals cancelled. Let's look at people's position from above. The vehicle on the left, in the left-hand lane, is going straight ahead. Notice how he keeps left as he goes round the roundabout. The silver vehicle in the right-hand lane is turning right. So notice as the two vehicles go round the roundabout, they both keep in their respective positions, so don't interfere with each other as they go round the roundabout. In fact, the same applies to the two vehicles that follow them onto the roundabout. While looking at this clip, it's also worth noting the position of the lorry. The lorry is going straight ahead, but because of his size, he will need to straddle both lanes. So in this situation, be careful not to put yourself alongside such a vehicle. It's not uncommon to sometimes see people go straight ahead at a roundabout in the right-hand lane. I think this video highlights why that's not generally good practice. The reason being is that when these vehicles leave the roundabout, they're both heading for the same piece of road. Sometimes you may go straight ahead at a roundabout in the right-hand lane, for example, on a dual carriageway or on roundabouts where signs and road markers tell you to do so. I've done another video explaining that sometimes you do roundabouts slightly differently to what you might normally expect. So as the drivers try to leave the roundabout, they're both fighting for the same position, which can be dangerous and create bad feeling. You'll often see people going straight ahead at a roundabout, straddle both lanes and straighten the roundabout out, like this driver here. Although it's not inherently wrong to straighten a roundabout out, you have to consider how your actions might affect others. This could affect traffic behind you, alongside you, and even those who are trying to join the roundabout, like for example this driver here. Because of the black car's position, it might give the impression to others that he is turning right, and the driver of the vehicle circled might give way unnecessarily. Finally, on this video about the basics of roundabouts, I would like to talk about the approach speed to roundabouts and the choice of gear. As with any situation when driving, I would suggest that the less you can see, the slower you go. I would describe this roundabout as being quite open. There are no obstructions to the right obscuring the view, and you can see across the roundabout ahead. So I would think that second gear would be a good approach gear. I would discount third as it's quite busy, and of course while giving way to traffic, it is possible that you may eventually use first gear. Vision on approach to this roundabout is very limited. The building here makes looking early to the right impossible. As there is the pavement which goes alongside and in front of the building, pedestrians might also obscure the view. It is quite clear early on that vision is not going to improve much on approach to this roundabout. You may consider that initially second is a good approach gear, but as you get closer and it remains the case that vision is poor, going a lot slower and doing a roll in first gear might be a better option. In summary, take your time. Getting used to roundabouts can be quite tough, so don't rush things. Give yourself time to see, to think and to react. Plan ahead and look for information. Look for signs and road markings. Try to work out early on how easy or difficult you're likely to be able to see as you approach the roundabout. Use the mirror signal manoeuvre drill. Use your mirrors to check what's going on around you. Make sure you signal correctly on approach to the roundabout. Try to signal left when leaving roundabouts. This helps other people who are trying to join them. Make sure you are in the correct position, travelling at appropriate speed with the correct gear engaged. Scan. Look around the whole roundabout, not just to your immediate right. Look for the people who are going to help you by blocking other people off, as well as those who you're going to have to give way to. Please look at my other videos about finding gaps at roundabouts and explaining that sometimes in certain situations you may do roundabouts slightly differently.